Have you ever heard of the Lost Spongebob episode from season 1? It was aired at 2 o'clock in the morning. The episode was Sandy's Rocket. It was gonna air at 1 p.m. for the first time, but it never did. Instead they were supposed to show a repeat of Jellyfish Jam at 1 p.m. But at 1 p.m., viewers were shown a half-hour message saying and they decided to air Sandy's Rocket at 2 a.m. But viewers were not shown Sandy's Rocket. It was something much more disturbing. Viewers report seeing an episode that they could not believe Nicktoons would air. They said it started out with the title card saying SpongeBob's Bad Day. The episode started with SpongeBob walking to the tree dummy, but he looked depressed. Then it cut to a few frames of SpongeBob with no eyeballs. Also, there was no opening theme, instead it showed a picture of SpongeBob crying. When SpongeBob goes into the tree dummy, he said, "Hey Sandy, I've been waiting for you the whole time." He saw Sandy covered in blood, dead and a mangled cut-up corpse on the ground. Her eyes were gouged out too. SpongeBob screamed in fear, and strangely, he wasn't wearing his water helmet. Then it cut to static, followed by a demonic laughter for a minute, and viewers were shown a couple of grotesque images of SpongeBob that they can't describe how terrifying they were. Then it cut to an image of SpongeBob with his head cocked back and one of his eyeballs hanging out of his head and his other one with a red pupil. Then I heard screaming so realistic that it sounded like it was coming from my house. Then it cut to static again for a minute and it cut back to SpongeBob. This time, he was in his room with dead bodies by him, and they were real dead people, not cartoon people. And then the screen turned red with a picture of SpongeBob and Patrick standing next to each other with black holes for eyes. The only sound that can be heard was a demonic voice saying "Join us in hell," and then it showed an early version of SpongeBob and creepy music that sounded like Sisida Masavi playing in the background. It showed SpongeBob's house. It was on fire and blood was going down the walls. The screen said something very terrifying: "I will find you and hunt you down." Also, what was strange was that Patrick and Squidward's houses were not there, but instead big holes with fire coming out of them where the houses used to be. Then the screen flashed 666 and it cut to a picture of SpongeBob with blood coming out of his holes in his body. Thankfully the blood was in the cartoony style instead of being realistic. Then the screen turned grey and it showed a picture of Patrick with a gun. The episode was over after the viewer heard a gunshot. Only 500 people were known to have viewed this episode and 200 of them were found dead and the other 300 had trauma issues and got sent to an insane asylum because they claimed that the sponge is trying to kill them, and only one person got out of the insane asylum and told this tale. He said he doesn't have much time to live, so tell other people about this tale as his dying wish. He was found dead 10 days later.